always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments, and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081-200-6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
Today with linear programming. This is quite new work for you. This is going to be quite new. You haven't done this before. So we're going to do a few loose things and then we put it together on graph paper eventually. But first, I'm teaching you with these small sketches. Actually, we actually said you draw them 3 by 3 centimeters. Not on graph paper, just a small little sketch. We'll do the graph paper when we put everything together eventually. Okay, so this one. So the first one was 1 is less than x is less than 4. And it's necessary that you will write that one on top, because otherwise when I check your books, I don't know if it's the correct one. So write the inequality at the top. So that means it's not just one position, but it's then more than one. So what we do is, this is your 3 by 3 centimeter sketch that you're going to make. And now I use the first one, which is 1, and I use the second one, which is 4. Because of these less than signs, it's going to be broken lines, isn't it? So I draw a broken line there, I draw a broken line there, and you shade unwanted regions. So this is the wanted region, and I'm going to shade the unwanted region there. So this one is now -2 is less than and equal to x and less than and equal to 2. So again, I draw my sketch. You take the smallest number, which is -2. This time it's a solid line. You take the positive value 2 there. It's a solid line, but we need to shade unwanted regions. You shade the unwanted region every time. Right, the next one is number 3. Now this one says, and I'm going to reverse it now just to make it easier, 3 is less than x is less than and equal to 5. They just swapped it, but I don't like that, because usually they expect you to start with the smallest one. So we're going to do it like this. So I draw my Cartesian plane, 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So here at 3, it will be a broken line. And at 5, it is a solid line. And you shade the unwanted region. So the white region is now your wanted region that you have there. Is yours correct? Right. The next one is number 4. -3 is less than y is less than 0. So this time it is on the y-axis. Can you see? It is the y-axis. That is very important. So it starts here at -3, broken line, and then at at 0, it's another broken line, and I shade the unwanted regions. So now it looks like that. In the next step, we're going to put the 2 on top of each other. That's what we're heading at now. Okay? The next one is number 5. -1 is less than y is less than 2. Okay, so let's try again. So it is at -1, the y value, and what was the other one? Okay, and then at +2, it's still a broken line, so this is the unwanted region that I have there. Okay, now the last one, which was your homework. I hope you have it by now. Negative 5 is less than equal than x is less than 0. So there's my Cartesian plane, negative 5, solid line, 0, broken line, shading the unwanted regions. Okay, it's important that you will understand x and y before we go to the skewed lines. Okay, so you can turn around, and now we're looking on page 3. On page 3. So now we're doing the opposite. You have the graph in front of you, and you must give the inequality. You must give the inequality. Okay, now can you see this one has no limit? It goes up and up. There's no restriction there. So we can just say that y is actually more than negative 1. It reads, as you started, negative 1 is less than y. Okay, it's still the same. You can read it from both sides. Okay? Okay? Right, let's take the next one, number 24. Number 24. Number 24. Look at x. Look at the x values. Look at the numbers. You can see them clearly there. What are the two numbers? Yes, that's right. Negative 2 is less than equal than x. You're now working with the x lines. Is less than equal than 2. There's the wanted region. The y values. This one is a broken line. I think this one is a broken line. Is less than y less than 1. Okay, now the last one is number 25, Jan Ivan. X. So this one has only 1. Can you see? There's no restriction again, okay? X is more than and equal to negative 2. I think it's a solid line. And then y. Right, now we're going to draw them. Okay, so back to your workbook now. Now we're going to draw them. So we're starting now with question 16. Question 16. Right, let's start with number 16. So a 3 by 3 centimeter. Please write on top 2 is less than equal than x is less than equal than 4. Yeah. So let's look at this one. It's between negative 2 and 4. No, not negative 2, positive 2. Just a hint, it's good if you draw there a 0 at the axis, because otherwise you sort of get confused where on which of all those lines is now my axis. So it cuts here at 2, it cuts at 4, it's solid lines there, solid lines. This is the wanted region, so I shade the unwanted region. That's where I shade. This is my unwanted region where I shade. And then the next one is negative 1 is less than equal than y is less than equal than 3. So now here on the axis, this is where negative 1 is lying. So it's a solid line there. This is positive 3. It's a solid line there. This is my wanted region. So I shade the unwanted region, which is there and here. And there is a nice wanted region. Now, you're going to ask me, why are we doing it? Because I'm going to teach you how to farm profitably with this. How can you make a profit on something? What is the best way to deal with something? No, how many cows and how many sheep are you going to fit in there? Yes, I'm going to teach you that. That's what we're doing. Okay, let's go on to number 17. 17. I want you quickly to also draw number 17 for me. Draw with a pencil, write with a pen, and let's try this one again. So again, we draw the axis, put your 0 there. This one lies between negative 2 and positive 2. It is broken lines, broken lines. Where's my wanted region? There and, or the unwanted regions, the region there is the wanted one. Then negative 2 So it's again a broken line. Positive 2 is a broken line. And where do I shade? There. So now you can see what is the purpose of the unwanted regions, because now we get that nice wanted region right in the middle. Okay. Do you understand now better? Okay. The last one, let's mark number 18. Okay, so 18 says 0 is less than equal than x is less than equal than 4. And then 0 is less than equal than y is less than equal than 3. So this time we're going to work with solid lines. Solid lines. So here's the first one. At 0, a solid line, and at 4. What is my unwanted regions? Here and here. I shade my unwanted regions. And then the next one is also at 0, a solid line, and at 3, there's your other solid line. I shade the unwanted regions. I shade those unwanted regions. Okay, that's now up to 18. We're going to draw a lot more on when we get to the graph paper, so I'm just teaching you step by step what to do. Now we're going to draw skewed lines. And this is what you actually learned last year, and that is a straight line graph. But first, just look here on the board. Okay, so again, I'm going to do it the other way around. We're first going to look at the graphs, and then we're going to draw them. Now, if I give you, just look here in the first place, if I give you this straight line equation, x plus 2, how would you draw that graph? Set a table, set a table, you set a table, you set a table. But now I'm going to teach you to draw them without the table. So we can do it without using the table. Please look carefully what I'm doing at this stage on the board. So there's my axis. So what I do is, you will remember, this is your gradient, and this is the y-intercept. This was the y-intercept, because this is y is equal to mx plus c. This is what we're dealing with here. Yes, so the y-intercept is at 2. And this is where I'm going to start. So I plot that point 2. That's where I start. Please look carefully on the board. And now I need to draw it with a gradient. So what is this one's gradient? Yes, the gradient is 1. What is it positive or negative? Okay, and what does positive say? It goes like this. The slope is like this. What does a negative say? The slope looks like this. Now, can I give you a hint? The moment when you make that decision, draw a little line there at the top, because then you know to which side your graph has to go. Otherwise, you're going to wonder. So from this point, I need to draw my gradient now. What is the gradient? Delta y over delta x. That is your gradient, delta y over delta x. So it means it is 1 over 1. Can you see? There's my gradient. And then I just join those 2 points, and there's my line. You don't need to write this down. Okay, now I'm going to change this one into an inequality. Inequality. It's an inequality if we use less than or more than, or less than equal and more than equal, then it becomes an inequality. Okay, but the point is now, on which side must I shade? Yes, we test the point 0, 0 in here to see what is true. So 0 minus 0 and 6. What will make this statement true? Yeah, 6 is more than, so 0 is? So 0 is less and equal to, because it's a solid line. So this is your answer for that one. Come, write it down. There's the answer. So I put the inequality in. That's what they want now from you. You must put the inequality in there. Now we're looking at question 9. And this one's equation is x plus y is equal to 3. They were very nice. They gave you the equation. So there's your equation. Is this one a broken or a solid line? which means it must be one of those two, less than or more than. Hey, what do we do? What do we test? 0, 0. We test the point 0, 0. Okay, so if you put 0, 0 in there, 0 plus 0 in 3, so what will make it true? Okay, less than will make it true, but is 0, 0 in the wanted region? Look there. No, 0, 0 is in the unwanted region. So instead of less than, you change it then to more than. More than. Write it in on your worksheets. Where's your worksheet? Well, okay, so write it in there. Okay, next one, question 8. On the next page, question 8. Okay, so that one's equation is x plus y is equal to 2. Right. Is it a broken or a solid line? Broken. Can you see? I check it out every time. Which point do I test? 0, 0. 0 plus 0 and 2. What will make it true? Less than. And it is in the wanted region. So that one is right. Come, let's make this one y is equal to mx plus c. Come, we did that last year. So what is the y-intercept? -4. What is the slope? Is it a positive or a negative slope? It's a negative slope. What is the gradient? Delta y over delta x. 2. Okay. Now, testing, 0, 0. You put them in there. 0, 0, minus 4. What will make it true? 0 is more than -4. 0 is more than negative. Sorry, the final one will read like this. Okay. Okay, now I want you to turn back now to the previous exercise, and exercise 19B, page 4, number 1. That's where we're going to start now. Exercise 19B, page 4, number 1. Right, so you can write there exercise 19B, today's date. Okay, and we're starting with number 1. X plus y is less than 3. Okay, I'm going to change it to standard form. So y is less than -x plus 3. Why? Because I work with y is equal to mx plus c. To draw it, you have to go for standard form. Okay, so now I draw my 3 by 3 centimeter in pencil. Where do I start? I start with a y-intercept. So I start there by plotting the 3. You have to start with your y-intercept. Is the slope positive or negative? So what is the gradient? 1. Delta y over delta x. So I start now at that point and I go 1 and 1. This is a broken line this time. Unwanted region. So I'm going to shade there. Okay, now let's do number 2 now together. Write the equation on top every time. 3x minus 2y is less than 6. 3x minus 2y is less than 6. There's your inequality. Okay, what do I do first? Step 1, standard form. Y is equal to mx plus c, which is now -2y is less than -3x plus 6. And then we divide with a -2. What's very important now, what is the rule if we divide with a negative with an inequality? You swap the inequality. Because I divide with a negative, so y is more than 3 over 2x minus 3. There's my inequality now. Okay, and now I must draw it. Plot the points. There's the 0. Where do I start? So I start here at -3. That's where I start. Is the slope positive or negative? So I'm going to draw it like that. What is the gradient? 3 over? 2. Okay, so it's 3 over 2. So now I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There. Broken line. There's my broken line. And then is 0 more than -3? It's true, so I'm shading here.
Come to ShopRite's birthday for more low prices. Like 10 kilos Top Score maize meal, only 103.99. And 750 grams Ricoffee, just 76.99. Go Wololo with our more low price birthday.
I used to love this bracelets,
shiny things.
you know, shiny blank, you know, and then the Herreros, they will say, blanky.
Hola, Omovili. Yeah? You said you were close to that one because they are both quite tall guys.
Yeah, very close. What happened? This other auntie of mine brought me a keyboard from America, a keyboard. So I used to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little, just there every day to master that thing.
Wonjero bangandado banduka titimuno mugade nduka tuya pewa. Wonjero bangandado banduka titimuno mugade nduka tuya pewa.
We always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments, and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
Linear programming. First we looked at the plane, and now we have those skewed lines that we are working with. So we are doing exercise 19B, and we had to start at number 2. Now we finished number 2, marking number 2. So, and if you ask me about the end of the year, the first step to success is to do your homework every day. If you're not going to do that, you're going to fall behind very, very quickly. Okay, now in the first place, I changed this one to standard form. 2x plus 4y is less than equal than 7. That is a good sign. So it is then 4y, y is equal to mx plus c. This is what we want to do here. So it will then be y is less than equal to negative a half x plus 7 over 4, which is 1 3/4. Okay, that's your first step, to change it to standard form. Right, now we draw it. This is the one that we're going to draw now. So you draw your axis, just a small sketch, 3 by 3 centimeters. Where do we start? You start with the y-intercept. That is where you're going to start. So this is the one that we're going to start with. So 1, 2, 3. So 1 3/4 will be here. This one is not so nice because it's a fraction, but that's where I'm going to start. What is my slope? Is it positive or negative? It is negative. How do I know that? Here. That's how I know the slope is negative. Draw this little line. This is going to help you a lot. So now I have to draw the gradient of delta y over delta x, 1 over 2 from this point. So I move 1 and then 1, 2 there. But the negative shows the slope. The negative just shows the slope. You don't use the negative 1, that's why I say you start from C, from the y-intercept, and then you go 1 over 2. So there's a 2. The negative shows the slope. Right, the next one. Okay, now, how do we know what to shade? Testing, the point 0, 0. So if I substitute a 0 in there, what will make it true? 3/4. So this is a true statement because 0 is less than 1 3/4, which means according to this line, 0, 0 is in the wanted region. I shade the unwanted region. Right, the next one, number 4. So this one says 2x minus y is less than equal than 3. Step 1 is standard form. Y is equal to mx plus c. So if I change this one, negative y is less than equal than negative 2x plus 3. I do it. Okay, now I'm going to divide with a negative now. So what happens then? My inequality is going to change. So it becomes y is more than equal positive 2x minus 3. Okay. So if I draw this one now, where do I start? Y-intercept, which is what this time? What is your y-intercept? That's negative 3. So I'm going to start here at negative 3. Is the slope positive or negative? Positive, so it's going to look like that. What is the gradient? 2 over 1. Delta y over delta x. So it's 2 over 1. So from this point, I go 1, 2, 1. So it's a solid line. There goes the inequality. There's the line. Okay, and then how do I know what to shade? Testing, 0, 0. 0 is more than equal than 0 minus 3. Is that true? Yes, 0 is more than negative 3. So what does that mean? According to this line, 0, 0 is in the wanted region. So I'm shading here. I'm shading on that side. Please mark carefully. You have to mark very carefully. Okay, and then number 5, question 5, x plus 2y is less than equal than 4. So again, standard form, y is equal to mx plus c. I divide by the 2, so y is less than equal than negative a half x plus 2. There's your inequality. There's your inequality. Okay, so if I draw this one, then where do I start? Right, and what is the y-intercept? 2. So I'm going to start there at 2. I start at 2. What is the slope of this one? Okay, so the slope is like this. Draw that line. And now what is my gradient? A half. Delta y over delta x. 1 over 2. So from this point you go now 1, 2. Can you see? 1, 2. 1 block, 2. So there's the line. And to shade, I test 0, 0. 0 is less than equal than 0 plus 2. This is true statement. Yes. So it means for this line, 0, 0 is wanted. So I shade there, the unwanted region. Okay. Right, and then the last one, number 6, please look carefully because we're going to move on now from here. 3x minus 5y is more than 15. Standard form, y is equal to mx plus c, negative 3x plus 15. I divide with a negative 5, and what happens when you divide with a negative, with an inequality? Swap. No. So it's 3 over 5x minus 3. Okay, so now we're going to draw this one. There's my axis. Where do I start? Okay, and what is the y-intercept this time? Negative 3. So here at negative 3, this is where I'm going to start. What is the slope of this graph? Yeah, but it's positive. The slope is positive. So it's going to be like this. Okay. So this is now page 5, number 11. Now, you can just look. I'm first going to do the first one alone. Look at the board. Don't write it off. We'll do the next one step by step with you. Just look what I'm doing. That's all that you need to do now. So here we say x is more than equal than negative 3, y is more than equal than negative 2, and x plus y is less than equal than 3. We have to draw this now. And now we're going to draw these small sketches, but eventually we're going to, this is what you're going to do on the graph paper. So this is now very important. So I'm going to start with my axis. This one is easy, isn't it? X is more than equal than negative 3. So it's a solid line. Do you agree? Which side must I shade? The left side. The unwanted region. This is wanted. I shade the unwanted region. Right, Jan Hendrik. Now I'm drawing this one. Ek gaan 'n ander kleur gebruik. Is less than equal than negative x plus 3. In where do I start? Yes, which is what? 3. So I start with 3. 1, 2, 3. Look at the colors because it's the 3 different graphs now. What is the slope? The slope is negative. And what is the gradient else? 1 over 1. Yeah, if there's nothing, there's a 1. If there's nothing, there's a 1. So from here, I go now 1 over 1. And it's again a solid line. And I draw it there. Now I need to shade. Testing, testing. Is this statement true? Marley? Is the statement true? So it means for this line, 0, 0 is in the wanted region. So I shade the unwanted region. Okay. Okay, so number 12 says y is less than equal than 0, x is less than equal than 0, and x plus y is less than equal than negative 4. So we're going to draw the 3 lines on top of each other. Okay, come in your book, everybody together with me. Right, so I draw my Cartesian plane and put a 0 there in the middle so that you know where's the axis, because we won't get confused later on which lines are you working with now. Yes? Okay, so this is easy. Y is less than equal than 0. So what are we going to do? It's a solid line here, isn't it? And what is the wanted region? Below, isn't it? So I shade at the top. I shade my unwanted. Okay, the next one, x is less than equal than 0. So what is the x line? This one. Okay? And which side do I shade? To the right. So now I shade here. Okay, so those two I think are easy. They are easy to draw. So this one is the skewed one, which is in standard form. Where do I start? Okay, so I'm going to start here with a negative 4. This is the point. It's very important that you find that point to start with. What is the slope? It's a negative slope. What is the gradient? Yes, Zine, if there's nothing, it's a 1. 1 over 1. 1 over 1. So that's easy. Remember, it's now this. It should go to this side. So I have to go 1 over 1. It must go through this point here. So it will go like this. So from the point, 1, 1. This is why this line is helping you. Then you know to which side to go. This helps you. And the last step is to shade. So 0 equal than 6 and y is more than x minus 2. Right. So the first one is easy. I see you get that right now. So it's here at 3 and it is a broken line and we shade there. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's take this one now. This one is easier now. So where do I start? With a y-intercept, which is negative 2. I start with a y-intercept. The slope is positive and the gradient is 1. 1 over 1. So from there I go 1 over 1 and it is again a broken line. The sign indicates that. Now this one we need to change to standard form. You do that with algebra. So 3y is more than equal than negative 2x plus 6. And then you divide by the 3. So y is more than equal than negative 2/3 x plus 2. So that means I start now here at 2 What is the slope? Negative. So from there, delta y over delta x, I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And this one is a solid line, so the line looks like that. And then we test, we need to test this one also. Is 0 more than negative 2? Yes, yes. So for this line, for the red line now, 0, 0 is in the wanted region, so I shade the unwanted region. And here, if I test 0, 0, is 0 more and equal than 2? No. So for this one, 0, 0 is in the unwanted region. So you are supposed to have a white region there, one white region there. Okay. Okay, now I want you to look at number 6 at the bottom of the page. Again, they've drawn it for you. So we're going to find that wanted region just by putting in inequalities in there. Okay, so if you look now at number 6, look, they've given you the inequalities. The one says x plus y is equal to 4, or that just gave you the lines. And 2y is equal to x plus 2, y is equal to 0. That's the third line that we have there. They've given you the lines. You have the lines there in front of you. What we need to do is we have to put now the inequalities in there. How will we know? Testing, testing. 0, 0. 0 lies in that graph, so we can test that one. So if we put 0 in here, 0 plus 0 is equal to 4. What will make it true? Less and equal. Less and equal. For this one, if I put a 0 in here, 0 is less and equal than 2. So that's the inequality that you put in there. And then the last one, y is equal to 0. So this is y is more and equal than 0. So you have to put those inequalities now in. We have the lines, but we need to put it inequalities. How do we know? We test 0, 0. We test 0, 0. Right. Now we're still going to do number 7. And you have we have both equations there. 3x plus y is equal to negative 1. And we have y is equal, negative 3. And y is equal to x plus 1. And what would be the last one, that solid line? X is equal to 1. So you have to choose now which of these ones you're going to put in. Okay? Do it by testing the point 0, 0. Substitute 0, 0 in x and y. All that you need to do is to substitute 0, 0 in x and y. The first one, what will make this true? But is that the broken line one? Yes. Okay, it will make the statement true if I put the zeros in. Just more than. Just more than.
Of southern Africa lies a vast and sparse land, where endless horizons, dramatic scenery, and untouched wilderness abound. (1,500 kilometers of harsh desert coastline, a mosaic of biodiversity, sub-Saharan savanna, acacia bushland, encased by 2 deserts. Home to wildlife and wilderness abundant, yet ever at risk. This is Namibia, home to some of the most noteworthy conservation success stories across the globe. Initiatives forged, manned, and driven by passionate individuals and groups.
People are busy there walking for more than 45 kilometers a day.
Special species and wild locations under constant threat from an increasingly destructive developing world.
One of the world's true survivors.
This is the story of the Namibian wilderness, the stories of the enigmatic wildlife and natural wonders of her realm.
They are not a threat to anyone, if you understand them.
This is the story of those determined to preserve it, and thereby themselves.
Don't think I want to tell my children one day that we had rhinos in Namibia. I want to show them live rhinos.
This is the story of the last defenders.
We had been tracked them for that 7 days, and on the 7th day, we come across the butchers, and there was a shooting. We are not armed. We having a camera and GPS, we are just hiding behind the bushes. If I don't protect this species, who's going to do that? So is that why I sacrificed my life to go on conserve the rhinos.
Armed out in the field with basically a notebook against poachers that are armed with highly dangerous weapons and more. How is this an equal fight?
I started right on the ground as a tracker, and I worked all the way up to be the CEO now, and I know how hard it is. It's commitment and dedication and the patience that you have for the animal. It's really hard. It's like you had something in your house that you are protecting for so long, and when you go away from home, somebody comes and kills you.
This is the Football Review. Gareth Bale was brilliant for Real Madrid, worth all of the 100 million euros the club paid for him. If you talk to me about what it means to finish second rather than third or fourth, I think second place is still first among the losers. It might be suggested Chelsea is still counting the cost. After scoring 107 goals on the way to the 2017 Ligue 1 title, Monaco managed just 40 from 28 games when last season was called off. History is written by the winners. That is what is remembered. The three most expensive transfers in Barcelona history are shaping as disasters. Injured more often than not, Ousmane Dembele and on loan Philippe Coutinho have had minimal impact. Struggling Antoine Griezmann has hardly been worth 120 million euros. Right now, they are costly mistakes by Barcelona. And this is the Football Review.
difficult, but not impossible.
I'm not a regular Joe. All these people know the old me's gone and dead like yesterday. I'm about to blow. Somebody clear the road. It's my moment, and I'm not letting go. I'm gonna rock you, rock you, rock you till you can't rock no more. I'm gonna rock you, rock you, rock you till you can't rock no more.
It's about time I rock. Been stuck in the dark too long, it sucks. So God, please hook a man up. Life at the bottom ain't fun, got a son that's young and I hate you seem starved. Wish I could spend more time, but it's grind got me grinding, dip in the mud. Digging for diamonds, smiling, trying to get my rap on course. Just wanna see my family ball. Maybe then we could all be involved. Right now we apart and it's breaking my heart. Wish I could take it back to how it was. Back when it was all about love. Now we all grown up with jobs and it's us, cause there just ain't no love. It's tough, guess I gotta go hard. Gotta stack gold bricks in the vault. Smile at some ghosts riding the roads. Couple states in the south and the north. Make wealth for my children's children. Drop platinum hits, let them feel me. I ain't never gonna stop till they kill me. It's the Boss 48, they gon' feel me.
I'm not a regular Joe. All these people know the old me's gone and dead like yesterday. I'm about to blow. Somebody clear the road. It's my moment, and I'm not letting go. I'm gonna rock you, rock you, rock you till you can't rock no more. I'm gonna rock you, rock you.
Y'all already know what time it is, man.
Till you can't rock no more.
It's been a long time coming. Really though, I ain't even frying. Fans asking me when it's dropping. I kept telling them soon, I was straight up blind. I had no clue, I gave up trying. It's been a long road running, so cold, demons and ghosts troubling my soul, it was humbling, yo. But there ain't no stopping for me, going hard as a brick, straight stomping his beat with kicks till it bleeds. I admit the defeat, but I'm back on my feet, brought to work till it hurts, put fire in every verse. Ride till my tires catch fire and burst, rhyme till I'm tired and lying. I hearse, I'ma fire till your body's outlined in the streets. I'm a rider, still young, no retiring for me. Drop songs till you get tired of me, seen signs your average rapper, I live you in awe, feeling for more. Search through your playlist, digging for songs by 48 beers. I know I was gone, but I'm finally here, finally appearing on lyrics, higher than roofs, shining the chandeliers. The West African vibe is here.
I'm not a regular Joe. All these people know the old me's gone and dead like yesterday. I'm about to blow. Somebody clear the road. It's my moment, and I'm not letting go. I'm gonna rock you, rock you, rock you till you can't rock no more. I'm gonna rock you, rock you, rock you till you can't rock no more.
Yeah, well, I just think the whole world is one big broken home, if you know what I mean. With everything going on, you feel? Broken home, broken dreams.
Slam squad up, 187 kid.
When nobody know your name, my father don't accept me. Like, I've been coming home late, 'cause staying home kinda stress me. I'm out here trying to get paid, hoping I can get a chance in life. If I could see you once again, I wanna show you how I really feel like it. My whole life for the low life, my life. Switch up from my broken home to the high life. My whole life for the low life. This is my life, from the broken home, living my life, yeah. Yeah, my niggas. Oh, yeah, my niggas. Yeah, my niggas. Oh, yeah, my niggas. So maybe I'm a curse fly. Grew up in a thug life. My mom against the world line. All my niggas selling drugs like I bet you in a club line. Since she woke up for the nightlife, never had a night. Maybe I can take you home with me, yeah, and show you how to dream, yeah. Oh yeah, that might take, she might take. She might take.
Man, and for your money, you talking so rich. You flex with my niggas, they talking that stick. Working on progress, so what can they say? I'm coming with violence and not a parade. For all of the haters that stand in my way, I'm body erupting a couple of ways.